Welcome to the National Rundown. We have all today's top stories. Stay tuned to learn more after the break.
One thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Cinderella found the pet that fits her perfectly, and you can too. Share your heart, share your love. Make a shelter pet part of your world. Happily Ever After begins at theshelterpetproject.org.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But I get it, you're busy, and busy people can't have prediabetes. I read that wrong. They can, okay? Just go to the site.
Hello everyone, and welcome to National Rundown. I'm Jaden Parenti. President Trump's tariffs for Mexico and Canada are going into place on March 4th. The 25% tariff on imports from the countries have been paused on February 3rd for 1 month, and there has been some confusion on if they would go back into place once the month has passed. In a Truth Social post this morning, the president confirmed that they will be. Trump points towards illicit drugs that, in his view, are crossing both the Mexican and Canadian borders at high rates and claims he will not allow it to continue. This comes in spite of the fact that both neighbors pledged to increase the security of their own borders. Hamas is saying they are ready to begin talks with Israel on the second phase of a ceasefire in Gaza. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded by sending a delegation of negotiators to Cairo, Egypt, to continue talks. The goal of these negotiations is to ultimately end the ongoing war that started in October 2023. Hamas has made it clear that the only way they will release the hostages that they have remaining is through a commitment to a ceasefire from the opposing government. Israel may not comply because they are in a stronger position to negotiate with full support from the Trump administration, which included a shipment of heavy bombs starting earlier this month. Pope Francis is spending his 13th day in a Rome hospital, and in an update this evening, the Vatican said he's showing a slight turn for the better. Chris Livesey is the Italian capital with the latest on the Pope's condition.
Well, the Vatican has just given a health update on Pope Francis, and they're saying the pontiff is showing signs of improvement. Slight, but there are indeed signs of improvement. Starting with that slight kidney failure that they mentioned, it has been resolved. Also, a chest CT scan performed yesterday showing normal evolution of the pulmonary inflammation. So it's not getting any worse, which is a good sign. Today's blood test confirmed yesterday's improvement. The Holy Father continues high-flow oxygen therapy, but no more asthma attacks like the one that we saw on Saturday that gave everybody that huge scare. And although he's recording a slight improvement, the prognosis remains guarded. That means doctors still can't determine whether or not the Pope is going to get better or worse, taking into consideration that he still has double pneumonia. And remember, he only has 1.5 lungs because he had part of a lung removed as a young man when he was sick at the time. And he also is still resting. He's able to get up. He's able to eat on his own without any assistance. So some signs of improvement there, but he is not out of the woods. His health team continues to stress he is not out of danger. Chris Livesey, CBS News, Rome.
After launching just about a month ago, House Democrats are taking aim at the Trump crypto meme coin. The meme coin tanked in value after early investors sold their currency. Members of Congress have observed the significant impact of hundreds of thousands of the investors as billions in value have rapidly declined. California Democratic Representative San Liccardo announced earlier that he intends to introduce legislation prohibiting the country's highest-ranking officials and their families from profiting off the personal meme coins. Coming up, the country gains access to Ukrainian minerals, Congress is on the verge of another shutdown, and weekly joblessness claims have jumped.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at GetSchool.com.
Congress is inching near a deadline that seeks to avert a government shutdown in just over 2 weeks. Both Republicans and Democrats on Capitol Hill are at odds at whether there should be guardrails in place of President Trump's ability to withhold funding that is approved by Congress. Currently, Democrats are looking into placing language within the funding bill that implements spending directed by Congress. Trump's new proposed gold cards have been raising questions. Here's Michael with some answers. So, Michael, what really are these gold card visas?
Right. So, President Trump just announced a new visa program that seeks to offer a path to U.S. citizenship for a price.
How much are we looking at for these gold card visas?
So far, we're looking to, those looking to become an American citizen, it could end up costing them about a whopping $5 million to replace the longstanding EB-5 investor visa.
I want to know exactly how this gold card visa works and how it differs from our current system.
That's a good question, Jaden. The gold card visa is essentially an investor visa, just like the EB-5 program, which has been around since 1990. The difference is this new visa significantly raises the cost of entry. Under EB-5, foreign investors could get a green card by investing around, like I said, $1 million in U.S. business that creates at least 10 jobs. Trump's plan bumps that up to $5 million. And according to his team, aims to eliminate fraud and loopholes within our current system.
We know that Trump said this would bring in wealthy and successful people who would create jobs and pay taxes, but is there any concern about citizenship you can buy?
Yes, so it's definitely a point of debate. Supporters are saying that this could boost the economy by attracting high net worth individuals who will invest in the U.S. and create new jobs. Critics, on the other hand, are arguing that it turns U.S. residency into a pay-to-play system, favoring the ultra-wealthy while it's making it harder for other immigrants who contribute in different ways to our nation.
Right. Well, thank you, Michael. The U.S. is set to gain access to Ukraine's critical mineral resources, key materials needed for the clean energy transition. A deal between the two countries is expected to be signed later this week. President Trump, who has been the driving force behind the agreement, has long voiced skepticism about green energy initiatives. These plans include wind and solar power, as well as the electrification of transportation. According to the Labor Department, there's been an unexpected jump in unemployment. Weekly claims of joblessness have jumped to 242,000, the highest since early October of last year. In Washington, D.C. alone, claims have risen 26%. Despite this, other areas with large amounts of federal workers, including Virginia and Maryland and California, have had declines in claims. Today, in entertainment, celebrities are getting ready to take flight. Dan has the details.
This week in entertainment, all eyes are looking in anticipation toward the upcoming Oscars. While there's been much speculation on this year's highly competitive ceremony, Wicked fans already have a reason to rejoice with the announcement that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo will perform to open the event. The build-up to this year's ceremony has contained many controversies, from the use of AI in the Adrian Brody-led The Brutalist, to the Academy's nomination of the horror film The Substance. Whatever the outcomes, there's no doubt this year's ceremony will be one to remember. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin space exploration venture makes headlines following the announcement of a historic all-female mission. Among the crew will be CBS News anchor Gayle King, Bezos' fiancée Lauren Sanchez, and pop star Katy Perry. Sanchez, who assembled the team, said she was, quote, beyond excited about the upcoming mission. The crew is scheduled to launch this spring. Paramount announces its plans to roll back DEI initiatives, citing recent mandates handed out by the Trump administration. The studio stated that they needed, quote, changes in the way the company approaches inclusion moving forward. Today, actor Gene Hackman was found dead in his New Mexico home, along with his wife and one of their dogs during a wellness check. While authorities have not announced a cause of death, 2 of the couple's dogs were found alive, and an open bottle of prescription pills was found next to Hackman's wife. The Academy Award-winning actor was 95 at the time. With that, I'm Dan Hassel, and this has been today's latest in entertainment news.
Coming up, fugitive influencer brothers arrive at the U.S. Stay tuned for details.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Sibling influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate have returned to America following criminal charges. The charges come from the Romanian government and include human trafficking and sexual intercourse with a minor. The Tate brothers arrived in Fort Lauderdale, Florida earlier today after their travel ban was lifted. Their lawyers and federal officials declined to comment on why the ban was lifted. The Texas lottery has been called into question following concerns of exploitation. Following 2 major drawings, the Texas state government has launched an investigation on courier services. These services buy lottery tickets in person and sell them to people who order online. Both winning tickets were obtained in this way. Despite this, lottery tickets are still available through them. The growing outbreak of measles continues to raise concern. An unvaccinated child has been hospitalized in Lubbock, Texas, as one of 124 cases in a measles outbreak throughout the western part of the state. He ended up being the first individual to die from the disease in 10 years. The vaccination rate is low compared to a lot of other places in the U.S., with 1 in 5 incoming kindergartners in the 2023-2024 school year not being vaccinated in Gaines County, another area in West Texas. Soccer, football, and Podcast P. Here's Mwanza with the latest in sports.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? It's Mwanza Fitzpatrick with sports. The United States women's soccer national team has done something they haven't done in a while under manager Emma Haynes, and that is losing. The She Believes Cup final to Japan yesterday, 2-1. With the win, Japan lifts the tournament's trophy for the first time and breaks the 5-year She Believes win streak for the U.S. in the process. Japan scored their first goal in the first 90 seconds. Ali Setner would score a goal of her own to tie the game up for Team USA. Japan will go on to notch a goal in the second half to give them the ultimate 2-1 victory. Podcast P, or better known as Paul George, came out yesterday saying that he would be taking a break from podcasting to focus on the Sixers season. You would think with how lackluster the Sixers have been, that would have been the main focus. The Sixers star is currently averaging a career low of 16 points a game, and the Sixers are on a 9-game losing streak. Since joining the Sixers, Paul George has uploaded more podcast clips to YouTube's 288 than field goals made, 197. The chain gang will no longer be a thing in the NFL. Yesterday, it was confirmed that the NFL will be using technology to track first downs. The NFL will use Hawkeye virtual measurement to determine the line to gain, and it will be the primary method for measurements. Now, instead of bringing out the chains, the league will go to a virtual measurement. The system works with the cameras inside the stadium that track players, officials, and the ball. The ball spotted, the system notifies the officials if the first down was achieved. The Associated Press reported in July it would be tested during the 2024 preseason. If there were any issues with the system, the league could get rid of it, but for now, the league feels comfortable moving forward with it. That's all for sports today, and back to the desk.
Get your raincoats and scarves. This weekend is going to be turbulent. More details after the break.
Got a quarter?
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Now let's take a look at the weather going into this weekend. Tonight, the rain will subside around 6 p.m. and temperatures will stay around the low 40s. Friday will be a little cloudy, but the warmer weather will continue with a high of 51 and a low of 38. Moving to Saturday, it will be even warmer as temperatures reach 57 with a low of 28. The sun will finally come out Sunday, but don't be fooled. The temperature will only reach a high of 35 and a low of 21. Starting off the week, it'll continue to be in the 30s on Monday with a high of 39 and a low of 22. Finally, on Tuesday, it will warm back up to the 50s with a high of 54 and a low of 28. That'll do it for this week's episode of National Rundown. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.